very many of the patients actually present to a nephrologist at first and then maybe get referred on to a rheumatologist for opinion, because lupus nephritis is the most important clinical entity, and it is perhaps the most life threatening clinical symptomatology a SLE patient has. So let's begin with a very, very important topic, SLE and lupus nephritis. So, at the very outset, I would first like to discuss the new criteria that has been out very recently, the last year itself, in 2019, which is the ACR Euler classification criteria for SLE. We all know that prior to this, we had the ACR criteria in 1987, which was succeeded by the 2012 SLIC criteria, which has now given way to the ACR Euler classification criteria in the year 2019. And there have been very many important changes that will be asked very, very commonly in your super specialty entrance exam, be it in your nephrology portion or be it in your medicine portion. But it is very, very vital to know. First of all, there has been inclusion of an entry criteria which was previously not there. So it says that there is a mandatory entry criteria of an ANA positivity of more than equal to 1:80 positivity on Hep2 cells or an equivalent positive test ever. So this has to be there. If it is absent, the patient does not classify as SLE. So basically, you cannot label an ANA negative person to be SLE. Moving on. So apart from that, the criteria have been further divided into domains. There are 7 clinical domains and 3 immunological domains. What are they? Namely, the clinical domains are constitutional, hematological, neuropsychiatric, mucocutaneous, serosal, musculoskeletal, and very, very important, renal. And the immunological domains are the specific SLE antibodies, including the anti-dsDNA and the anti-Smith. Then you have the anti-phospholipid antibody. Then you have the complement proteins. So cumulatively, a person must have a score of 10 or more to be diagnosed as lupus, in addition to the mandatory entry criteria not to be forgotten. So a new inclusion that you must have noticed, which was not there in the previous SLIC criteria, is the inclusion of fever, which is the most common constitutional symptom, which is the most common presenting symptomatology an SLE patient presents to you with a weightage of 2 points. So we shall again recall the point. So I told you that the very first thing is that inclusion of a mandatory entry criteria. Number 2, the points have been divided into domains, and the sub points there are further sub points. Thirdly, inclusion of a constitutional criteria, that is fever, in the clinical criteria, which was not there previously. Then the sub points under each domain have been given weightage, have been given points. Like leukopenia has 3 points, thrombocytopenia has 4 points, and autoimmune hemolytic anemia has 4 points. And you will only take that point which has the highest weightage in that domain. For example, if a patient has both leukopenia and thrombocytopenia, you cannot count it as 3 plus 4 is equal to 7. You will only take 4 into account, because under each domain, you will only take the highest pointed category. Now, very, very important, for the very first time, the renal, which is of the most concern to us, the renal involvement has been classified subclassified into biopsy types. So if a patient only has more than 500 milligram proteinuria, he will have a point weightage of 4.